Hello YouTubers, Troz here again, and I'm playing some more Kerbal Space Program with the Mission Controller user-made career mode modification. So last time I kind of failed with the Kerbin exploration. So I made a few modifications. Got these nice small solar panels. That should help with the electricity running out problem. Definitely looked like I had more than enough power to reach polar orbit. In fact, because I ran out of power with the engines on, I actually reached Kerbin escape velocity. So this shouldn't be too bad. The only tricky part, it looks like you need to get relatively circular. Eccentricity is a measure of how circular your orbit is, with I believe 0 being perfectly circular. So we gotta get pretty circular. I also didn't mention I added a battery, so we should be able, night side operation shouldn't be an issue at all. So let's try to get this thing into orbit. Yeah, now this does require a polar orbit, so it's a few extra thrust to counteract the rotation of the planet, but we'll this definitely seems to be capable. So let's turn on some SAS and get ready to launch in 3, 2, 1, launch. And of course I didn't have the throttle up, so the SAS didn't really have much control. Let's recenter that. We want to be going straight up for the most part at the beginning. Spin this around a bit and start our gravity turn. And what I learned from last time is once you get into orbital, let me click the little control here, you can see because of the rotation of the planet, our velocity is not exactly north, so you have to compensate for that a bit. Once the prograde marker gets right on north, I'll return to being right on the north line. Yeah, because the planet's rotation, you're kind of moving east because of that rotation, so you have to aim a little west. Let's see, we're at 81 degrees, 82 degrees, 83 degrees, so we're almost there. 85 degrees, so let's move back to the line. We're also getting there height-wise. And this time I'll try not to go over 105. stop, let's say, 102. Alright, there we are on really nice path. And we just need to get the periapsis. Oop. That would be perfect. Let's you can see the ship a little better against the background stars there. And we're gonna start burning in just a second here. 3, 2, 1. Thrust again. You can see the eccentricity is dropping. Oh, overburned. Well, that's should be easy enough to correct. Let's rotate around here. Yeah, by 30 meters a second. How did I do that? Ooh, and we got sunrise. Periapsis 95. It actually doesn't have periapsis. Requirement, but alright, so we need to get a little more circular than we currently are, which means getting the apoapsis and periapsis closer together. So I just set up a node, and it looks like 5 meters per second. So with the weight of this spacecraft, you know, apparently that's not even a second worth of burn. That's why I brought some RCS. So I'm going to fast forward a little, maybe to a minute before. And nice view of the pole here, which I guess is what those scientists wanted. Gonna line up a little more. Gonna turn on RCS, and now with H and N keys I can thrust forward and back, and There we go. Finish the mission. Nice. Let's move maneuver. See, our apoapsis is 104.5, or just about 6, and our periapsis is 103. So it looks like you have about 2,000 or 3,000 meters. You can be off on this one and still complete it. Now, that's our previous attempt. It's still on its way out of the Kerbin system. You may notice this other ship here. This is the other mission I'm going to attempt to do. This is the Vostok 3. This is a mission. Let's get back to the Space Center. And we'll load up. And select that mission. Oop. So this is a mission dealing with docking to spacecraft. So earlier I launched one copy of this and just barely got into orbit. But I did get into the required orbit. I'm thinking for the second one, I want to do two things. One is I want to put a light, because with the way things have been going, let's just one light should do. We'll rotate it around. The way things will have been going with my luck, we'll be docking on the dark side. And I would like to have a bit more thrust, or more fuel, when I actually get into orbit. So I'm going to put a second stage of these rockets, solid boosters, and those will go off first. So I want you. Alright. Those will fire first. Then we release them. Then these will be fired. And we'll release them. And then we'll fire the main rocket. Because we have a capsule, the capsules provide a lot more torque than the pods or probes do. So I shouldn't need the main rocket firing to keep orientation. Call this one 2. And let's launch. Now I know this is probably not the best time to launch, but I'll just take a slightly higher orbit and catch up to the ship that's already up there. And we'll be launching in 3, 2, 1. Alrighty, and those two solid rocket booster sets basically took us up to 10,000 where we can start a gravity turn. We're going to be right on 90. And that should be about good. This mission has a much lower orbit and actually not as tight circular. We can be 10 times further off in our circularization. So if the last one was like 2,000, we'd probably be at least twice that. But with the way the apoapsis is, too much further than that, and you'd be entering back into the atmosphere. So we should be tilting over some more, I think. Actually, we should be tilting way over. I believe I have the other ship up at 80, so slightly off. The other ship is actually catching up to us. So if we do go in a higher orbit, that would be fine. And alright, let's try to line our orbit. That looks a little better. Oop. And we should have already started burning. See, we went up way too steep, so we didn't have enough horizontal velocity. And we're starting to drop. It's not bad. Not great. Okay. So you can see our orbits are not exactly lined up. I have set the other ship as the target now, and you can see, right now we're above its orbit, and over here we'll be below its orbit. So we need to correct that. That's where these little descending nodes and ascending nodes come in. This tells us that the angles our orbits are off by is 1.2 degrees. Now, it doesn't sound like much, but when you're dealing with, a few thousand kilometers, a degree is a pretty far distance. So the descending node and ascending nodes are where the orbits cross. You can see this is the descending node because my orbit, which is the kind of blue cyan color, is going down past the green target orbit. And on the other side, it's ascending because it's coming up from below and going above at that point. So if you want to line up the two orbits, the only place you can do that is by doing a maneuver right at the ascending or descending node. So I'm going to add a maneuver here. If you try to do it somewhere else, you basically wind up, kind of rotating your orbit around instead of... you're moving where the ascending and descending nodes are. Only by firing exactly on them will they not move. So I want to move this up, and from the side you can that looks like it'll be on. Of course, we're still going little wider, but we want to go wider. That'll make our orbit slower and let the other ship catch up. So you see this is a 46 meter per second burn. Be 3 seconds if we burn it full, but I'm not going to be burning it full. And I'll probably burn it a quarter, so it'll be 4 times that, or 12 seconds. Let's get out of map view. So I'm going to fast forward around to about a minute beforehand. Alright. Looks like we'll be practically in the light. So this is our retrograde, but we're going to be thrusting north, I believe. So it should be this way. And look at that. It's not exactly on the north or south. Well, you're either doing a more complex maneuver or you're not doing it right. And we're just into the sun here. So we'll be firing up, which will bring a quarter way around up a bit, because we're lined up with there's always a path from your point on the orbit through the center of what you're orbiting to your orbit on the other side. And since that's a straight line, by firing up, you're moving the quarter point way around, as opposed to when you fire prograde or retrograde, you're moving the height of the other side of the orbit. Anyway, should have burnt already. And cut. And yeah, that is all nice and lined up now. So you can see our orbital path is higher, almost all the way around, except for here where it's pretty much lined right up, which is really what I want to happen. So let's get a kind of good vantage point. And so we're this ship, the Vostro 3 Mark II. Here's the original Vostros 3. And next time around, when we get here, the other ship will be there. When we get here, the other ship will be there. We need those to get closer. Our orbit is a little further, so we'll be going slightly slower than this ship, so it should be catching up to us. I am now going to warp, and you should be able to see as we pass each marker, they'll move position, but they should get closer each time. Alright, we're approaching the orange markers, and both ships should hit them at the same time. And now they moved. It's probably hard to see. Yeah, but they should be getting a little closer each time. Fortunately, we can't warp too fast here. Yeah, it's subtle. Periaps is lined up, and I don't want to move that. So the next time we hit our periaps, I'm going to raise the apoaps a little bit so we get more distance closed. That should be more than plenty. Let's raise it by 10,000. That looks good. That's only an 8 meter per second burn, which I'm not even going to burn for. We have RCS on this. Let's so I'm just going to use RCS. That should take that down relatively quickly. Let's fire. Turn off RCS again. Yeah, that was exactly what I wanted. Let's speed up. We're the front ship. As we pass this orange spot, you should see that move a lot more than it was previously. Yeah. just gonna take a few orbits to let it catch up. And once we do catch up, we should only be moving, well, I added 8 meters per second to our speed, so it probably was already at, 5 or so. I mean, we shouldn't have a speed difference more than like 20 meters a second, so it should be relatively easy to stop in a line. Looks like we're about a quarter orbit apart. See, I'm going to be separated by 900 kilometers, 981 kilometers. Dropping like 75 kilometers each orbit. It's going to take a lot of orbits. Gonna raise the apoapsis a little more. Actually, I can just should be good. Ooh, didn't mean that at all. Watch what keys you're hitting. There we go, we jumped down a whole bunch there. Yep. 700 something to 550 is about 150 kilometers. Now we have to be careful we don't jump past. So on this next, I'll relower the apoapsis a bit. Actually, one more. No. One more around. Be at 147. Okay. I see that. It shows that the next closed paths, the target will have passed us. So that is why we want to add a maneuver here and reduce our apoapsis. We still want it above. 96, but maybe at 100. Yeah. So it means we want to slow down by 20 meters per second in 26 seconds or so. Let's turn off RCS. Prograde, we want to go retrograde. So we want to slow down. Ooh. 12 seconds. Turn on RCS and burn. Turn off RCS. And yeah, next time around will be 60. And then we should only be creeping in small steps. This is how you do intercepts without mech jib, or it takes a bit longer, but it can totally be done manually. Alright. So we're going to be apart by 60 here. If we go around one more time, our separation will be 28, but the target will be in the lead. So let's bring it down to real time. We can now adjust this to get them as close as we want. No. 3.1. 4.6. And that is what we want. So, and we're on the dark side. But that's why I brought a light. So that means I want to aim right here. Turn on RCS, and in 34 seconds, I want to reduce my speed by 4.7 meters per second. Let's reduce my apoapsis back in the Alright, let's start to burn. That should be plenty. So there we go. I'm still a bit high, but I mean, still catching up, or still letting it catch up to me. So when we rendezvous, I'm going to have to slow down a bit more, which will bring down the apoapsis into the allowed range, because that's ship I'm maneuvering to is already there. And there it is, look at it, 65. So let's do two things. Set a maneuver just before, and something like that, just so I get a nice countdown. Let's well, let's not turn on my light yet, and we'll just warp around here. You see we're in the higher orbit is below us. Ooh. Alright. It's below us here. Traveling about 27 meters per second faster than it. And actually, let's that is the retrograde of our current heading, current relative velocity, I should say. And in just a few seconds, I want to reduce speed to about 0. In fact, well, 21 is a bit fast. Let's slow that down to about 10. See, that also reduced my max apoapsis. And let's get rid of this Alright. 3, 2. Alright. Basically 0. Our orbits are pretty much aligned. I want to aim at the target. And that's retrograde. I want to get my velocity. So I don't want to be exactly on it, but I want to pull my velocity vector. Let's turn on RCS. I'm using H and N and IJKL. It's probably hard to see. And previously I had oriented that ship, the target ship, directly north. So I want to be facing south when I dock to it. See, because of the orbit, my path keeps getting pulled off of the ship. But that's okay, we can keep recorrecting. We're traveling at 2.2 meters per second, which means we got a bit of time. Let's see if we can you know what, if I'm gonna be thrusting at it, I might as well be thrusting right at it. Should give us about 100 seconds. Got a light. It's not really lighting it up yet. So let's shut that off. We have a limited amount of power. Unless we fire the engines. Alright, slow down, slow down. We do want to pass by this ship, so we are on the wrong side of it. We are currently pointing north. And this ship is basically just a capsule at this point. And a RCS. Yeah, there it is. How long is that? That's not that bad. Let's all right. Down. You're up. Trying to maneuver the pink. Let's put the light on. There we go. Can see now. Go closer, and I'm. Oh, there we go. A little faster than I wanted to. We've got Jeb and Bill. Why does it say docked false? Guessing that's a little bug, because this is definitely docked. We can roll, and both ships are rolling. See, the other ship's basically the same thing. I used up all the fuel in the rocket, so it's just the little RCS pod. The only other difference is it didn't have a little light on it, but we got 2 parachutes, which should be plenty. Some RCS, Jeb and Bill. Back off 5 meters and dock again. Hoping that's far enough away. This time at a much more leisurely pace of 0.2 meters per second. There we go. Docked again. Still doesn't say docked. It might just be a bug with the how the mod is written. Well, I'm going to call that successful. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.